How many months or years have gone by where you promise yourself this is it? Today is the day I stop feeding my body with crap and start nourishing it. Start fueling myself, taking care of myself. Only to find yourself waist deep in the snack drawer 30 minutes later because you started trying to figure out what the most optimal diet was, got too overwhelmed and decided to comfort yourself with biscuits instead. Because from there you lose sight of the bigger picture. The goal of becoming an unrecognizable version of yourself who eats well, trains well, sets ambitious goals and follows through on them, and you start spiraling right back down into that comfort zone of discomfort that you've been sat in for so fucking long. Well, if that's where I'm finding you, this is the perfect video for you, because this is step 2 of the Becoming Unrecognizable series, a series of 6 actionable expert steps by a women's fitness coach who spent the last few years becoming unrecognizable herself and helped hundreds of women do the same. If you missed it, head back and watch step 1, the introduction, to make sure you're up to date and can transition seamlessly into today's video. Step 2, how to eat to become unrecognizable. But before we get stuck in, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the following steps. So today I'm going to take you through a day of eating for my current goal, which is dialed into maintenance, but more importantly, running performance. But the focus isn't necessarily going to be on exactly what I'm eating. It's going to be about how I approach meal timings, meal quality, and my general attitude towards food to make sure I'm eating in a way that makes me feel energized, focused, and productive. They're going to be tips that, regardless of the goal, whether it's fat loss, muscle development, running, these tips are going to be transferable across the board. So let's start with breakfast. Something I suggest to all my clients is that we use protein as the foundations that we build the rest of the meal on. Now, protein's become a bit of a buzzword nowadays that we've almost gone backwards and started placing less value on it because of the trendiness nature of the food group. But the reason you're reaching for the biscuit tin at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning, the reason that you're hitting that 3 p.m. slump every single day without fail, the reason you feel like you can never get full no matter how much you eat, it's all probably because you're not eating enough protein. Granted, some people have taken the protein targets a bit extreme, like the 5'0" petite gym girlies saying that they have to hit their 200 gram per day protein target. But still, it's important, and the likelihood is you're not getting enough of it. So my staple breakfast that I'm having near enough every single day is the same breakfast I had when I lost 6 kg. It's the same breakfast I'm eating now to hit a sub 150 half marathon. All we're doing is shimmying around the quantities of the ingredients to suit the goal. It is my staple breakfast that I will have on repeat because it ticks all of the boxes. It tastes bloody good. It hits what I need it to hit in terms of nutrients. It's quick and easy to make, and I never get bored of it. We've got 0% fat Greek yogurt, frozen berries, granola or cereal of some sort, peanut butter, and some bread. That's right, my friends. We're starting the day with bread. Call the authorities. And look, I know we'll have some, oh, I don't like breakfast girls in the chat, and that's fine. But maybe we can have a look at what your morning coffee and or snacking tendencies are looking like first before you dismiss breakfast completely. Because if you're racking up 3 to 4 milky coffees on top of a frappe, on top of 4 to 5 biscuits before we've even hit midday, maybe your midday sugar crash might not feel so intense if you injected a little something in there early doors instead. Next up, we got lunch. And if your childhood looked anything like mine, your lunch probably looked something similar to a ham sandwich, some Pom Bears, and a chocolate bar chaser. And there's not really a moment where our brain just automatically switches into adult mode and we realize actually that probably ain't the best lineup for someone whose frontal lobe is fully developed and has big girl jobs to be getting on with. So we kind of got to flick that switch of our own accord at some point or other. And I know the Kardashians have made a shaker salad look chic, and Devil Wears Prada encouraged a cube of cheese for your lunchtime pick-me-up, but I'm going to interject with a third option: substance. I know there are plenty of recommendations nowadays that you want to keep lunch low carb, that you want to keep lunch low fat, that you want to keep lunch low fun. But actually, if you're having your first meal at 9 a.m. and your third meal at 6 p.m, that's a long stint of time. And eating something more substantial in the middle of the day, where your brain is most likely to be at its highest rate of stimulation, is probably going to have a significantly better payoff in terms of energy, satiety, and avoiding the 4 p.m. snack drawer calling. So to follow on from breakfast, we're going to opt for convenience and speed, starting with the protein and building the carbs, fats, and veg in to make a simple but quick and effective lunchtime feed. Nothing fancy, but honestly, who has the time, money, or patience to make elaborate midweek meals when all we're ever trying to do is just make sure we've crammed something into our gob between our 12 o'clock and our 1 o'clock meetings. And then we get to dinner. And if you haven't figured it out by now, in my world, convenience is king. Meals that take less than 10 minutes to whip up at the end of a day, that again, hit your protein target, get some color in there, some carbs on the side. It just works. It's not fancy, it's not elaborate, it's not very exciting, but actually sometimes reducing decision fatigue where meals are concerned and food is concerned will make life a lot easier for you 90% of the time. And then you can have your days off or your weekends as the time where you can get a little bit more elaborate. You can spend a little bit more time on your cooking. But during the week, when all you want to do is make sure that you've got energy to see you through the day, the simpler the better. Finishing the night with something sweet like dark chocolate or Greek yogurt and berries, and you'll have had yourself a strong day of eats to fuel performance and make you feel good from the inside out. Okay, let's debrief, because you might have got to this part of the video and you're thinking that just seems too simple to be that effective. But that's the point. Nowadays, it is trendy to be complicated, but simplicity is your best friend. One person's saying too much protein is killing your kidneys. Another's saying that protein's not even that important and you should just focus on fiber. The next person's telling you to fast until midday. Next is telling you to eat immediately upon waking. And the truth is, it's a lot simpler than that. The reason you went looking for this video is because you feel overwhelmed with your diet. What you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating, how much, how little. And honestly, I get it. Nutrition is a minefield, which is why my main piece of advice, no matter who I'm talking to, is aim for simplicity as often as possible, using these 3 questions. Look at your plate and say, where is the protein? Where are the carbs? Where's the veg? Where's the fats? Question number 2, looking at your plate and thinking, realistically, will this keep me full until my next meal? Question number 3, looking at your plate and asking yourself, is this doing what I need it to do for me? By that, I mean, are you trying to force a salad down your throat when all you've been craving for the entire week is a burger? Or are you planning a big hike later that day and looking down at your piece of burnt toast with a slather of butter, thinking, you ain't gonna stretch to what I need? Even those 3 questions might seem a bit too simple, but to become unrecognizable, you have to start eating in a way that fits your goals and the lifestyle you want to be leading. And as I spoke about in part 1 of the Becoming Unrecognizable series, you have to make this journey feel as seamless and resistance-free as possible. And how do we do that? Simplicity. I told you I was going to provide you with the tools to ensure that this journey was going to be a guaranteed success. And simplicity is the key to making that success come to life. So over the next few days, I want you to add what you took from episode 1 and tag team it with the questions from episode 2. You're starting and ending your day like the future version of you. You're starting to make the choices that she would make. And now you're going to eat the way she does too. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next installment of the Becoming Unrecognizable series. And I'll see you in the next one.